According to the Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning and Engagement, approximately 50% of eligible young people, which is about 24 million, ages 18 through 29, voted in the 2016 general election. Despite the numbers being higher than the 2012 election, there is still the other 50% of millennials that did not practice their civic responsibility of voting. So that raises several questions. The first being, why don't young people vote? Are we too lazy? Do we just not care? Is there a lack of trust in the political process? Are we unaware of what exactly our civic responsibilities are? Or were we not trained or educated enough on the importance of civic responsibility? Today, I would like to inform you on first what civic duties and responsibilities are, the importance of civic responsibility, not only to us as citizens, but to America's democracy, and finally, the lack of education on civic responsibility. First, let's discuss what civic duties and responsibilities are and the difference between the two. According to dictionary.com, a civic responsibility is defined as the responsibility of a citizen. A civic duty is an action required by law for a citizen to perform, one being mandatory, the other voluntary. Now that we've discussed civic duties and responsibilities, we can now ask the question, how can I be an active citizen? And what exactly are those responsibilities? To be an active citizen, one can participate in government and stay informed. You want to make sure that you take part in decisions that directly affect you. Ways you can do that is vote, follow rules and laws, pay taxes, volunteer within the community, become an activist or advocate for something you believe in and value, jury duty, and joining the military. Because many of us do not participate in those voluntary duties, it causes one to question whether or not we are aware the importance of our civic responsibilities and how imperative they are to the success of America's democracy. Let's first discuss what a democracy is. A democracy is defined as A, a government by the people, especially rule of the majority. B, a government in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised by them directly or indirectly through a system of representation usually involving periodically held free elections. Citizens are what makes a democracy work. In order to flourish, the American democracy is dependent upon citizens that are knowledgeable about public policy, are able to exercise their rights, and also engage in politics. Now that we've discussed why engaging in civic responsibility is important to America, let's now talk about why it should be important to you. Youth individuals 18 through 29 make up a large portion of the population, which can be influential and aid in the better political decisions. It also allows us to voice our opinion and be a part of decisions that directly affect us and our quality of life. It also aids in making our communities and the environment better through volunteer work, which will assist in resolving issues such as poverty, gang violence, and even promote peace. As mentioned in the beginning of my speech, many young people have developed a sense of apathy towards civic responsibility, which causes one to question why. After careful research, I found that there are three main reasons why the youth feel this way. The first being, many young people feel that their voice won't truly be heard. We've heard a lot of people say, "My vote doesn't count." Many young people also have an attitude of cynicism towards government and simply do not trust our political process. Others lack the knowledge and promotion of civic duties. Many young people simply do not feel empowered to participate. Which brings me to my next point. The role of education and the disengagement of young people in civic responsibility. Is the lack of civic education of young people today imperiling America's democracy in the future? Many will answer yes. According to surveys conducted by the American Council of Trustees and Alumni, Recent college graduates are alarmingly ignorant of America's history and heritage. The students were asked several questions related to politics, and the results showed that the graduates were unable to identify the term length of members of Congress, the substance of the First Amendment, or the origins of separation of powers. There was also another survey conducted on over 1,100 liberal arts colleges and universities, which showed that only 18% of those colleges and universities require students to take one survey course in American history or government before they graduate. The rapid decline in civic literacy. Preparation for career success is the main focus of many colleges and universities, which may be the cause of deficiency in civic education. It is important for graduates to leave college skilled and prepared to be active in the workforce. However, equal importance should be placed on being active in the affairs of their community, country, and government. Promoting civic engagement and preparing active citizens should be a primary goal for colleges and universities. Changing the curriculum to require education on civics would aid in resolving the apathy young adults feel towards civic responsibility and ensure the success of America's democracy. Colleges and universities should not only require civics as a course, but also assess the students to make certain of their understanding. Now that we can distinguish between a civic responsibility and a civic duty, have covered the role of education in the disengagement of youth in civic responsibility, and lastly, the reasons why the youth are apathetic towards civic responsibility. It is now safe to say that we know that active and emerging citizens are substantial in America, continuing as a democracy. I'll leave you with a quote. Every right implies a responsibility, every opportunity an obligation, every possession a duty. Thank you.